Hi guys, in this video, I would like to show you how to create an automated payment voucher template in Excel from scratch. Payment voucher is a form of supporting document used to record payments made to supplier, vendor, or other creditor. It is usually documented together with other documents such as invoices and supplier statement. First, we would need to create a list to record the details for each payment voucher. The important columns we need are payment voucher number, payment date, recipient of the payment, items for payment, amount of payment, payment method, reference number of the payment, which can be check number or transaction number. We can also include the issuer of the payment voucher and approver of the payment voucher. Let's fill in some example of the details. Then, we can convert the list into table for easier formatting. Now, let's move forward to design our payment voucher template. Add the header of the voucher, followed by the company name, address, and contact. Then, based on the columns we have made in the Record tab, let's make the template for details to be filled into payment voucher. After designing the template, we should link the template to the Record tab. Firstly, we need to select a cell as the cell reference for the linkage. Thus, we make this cell as the space to populate the payment voucher number, which allows the linkage of corresponding data from the Record tab. After that, we can use Vlookup function to link data. For example, when we choose a payment voucher number, we would like to have the item automatically populated at this cell. Thus, we put this cell as lookup value, put the table name as the table array. Since the first item is located at the fourth column, we put 4 as the column index number. Then, we put false as we would like to have the exact matching data when we choose certain payment voucher number. Then, we can repeat the similar way for the remaining items. However, when the column is blank in the Record tab, we will see the item displayed as 0. To make it displayed as blank when corresponding column is not populated, we can use combination of 3 functions, which are if, len, and vlookup functions. If is an function that allows you to specify a logical test and display result a certain value when the test is true or false. On the other hand, len function returns the number of characters in a text string. In this case, the logical test is set true if the len function returns 0. We want the result to be displayed as an empty string, when the test outcome is true. Also, we want the value filled at the item column to be displayed if the test outcome is false. This is the formula which gives us the desired effect. Let's apply it to other rows. We can then apply the same concept to the other space in the payment voucher template. So, when the column in the Record tab is blank, it will be displayed as blank also in the payment voucher generated. For instance, we would like to have the sequence number displayed at the left column when the right column is filled. We can modify the existing formula by replacing the last argument of the if function with count a function. The count a function counts the number of cells that are not empty in a range. In this case, we should set the cell range of the 5 items as the range. Drag the formula for the remaining cells, and change the respective column index number in the Vlookup function. Now, let's set up formula for the other space in this payment voucher template. For sum of the amount, simply use the sum function for the relevant cell range. Link the amount of each item with the corresponding column in the Record tab. Then, do the same for other details like payee name, payment method, reference number, and date of payment voucher. If the date is not displayed correctly, we can change to the correct format in the number section. Apply the same for remarks, issuer name, approver name, and recipient. We can add the spin button beside the payment voucher number. The button can be found in the Developer tab at the ribbon. If you can't find your Developer tab, you can go to the Options, Customized ribbon, and tick the option for Developer. Link the spin button to the payment voucher number. Then, we may choose the payment voucher to generate by just clicking the button. This saves our time to populate the payment voucher number whenever we want to generate a certain voucher. Now, the whole payment voucher template is almost done. We can make some further adjustment to make sure the format of the voucher is as we want. Then, we can print out a certain payment voucher by selecting the corresponding payment voucher number and click Print. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.